Hello everyone, this is Donna from Even the Scales, and I'm just on my channel right now because I want to talk about some of the abuse that I've been through over the past 24 hours from the community that's involved here in Campbelltown, New South Wales. If you haven't seen any of my videos before, my landlord has teamed up with the justice system. They've taken bribes from the justice system to put me through abuse. And this is being done to try and abuse me to death. And it's been going on for at least 19 months. And they've done this because it's all a part of a justice system cover-up. The justice system are trying to cover up the injustices that I have been through. There are police officers in my family and connected to my family who have been involved in crimes and obstructing justice. So that's why this is being done to me. And my landlord is St George Community Housing, and they have taken bribes from the justice system to have me abused to death in my home. But it's not working out for them. I was meant to be gone months and months ago, but it hasn't worked out for them. However, I am still going through very demeaning abuse every single day in my home and outside my home. And that's because St George Community Housing have placed illegal cameras in my home so that the neighbours that are involved in this abuse and other members of the community here in Campbelltown can view into my home illegally and come up with ideas so that they can put me through very cruel, psychological and physical abuse. Lately it's turned to physical because of how the neighbours that are connected to my unit have been able to affect my health. There are two neighbours that live downstairs from me. St George Community Housing has given these two people the ability to be able to watch me in my home. I want to say St George Community Housing and the justice system have given these two people the ability to watch me in my home on these illegal cameras. They can watch me in my bedroom and they can watch me in my living area. And I hope that they can't watch me in my bathroom, but from what I didn't think this landlord would, put cameras in my house at all. So I wouldn't put anything past this landlord because this landlord has gone to absolute extremes to put me through this abuse. He's given these two people, the power to stalk me 24 hours a day so that they know what I'm doing in my home. The justice system have also given these two people the ability to watch my devices. They know everything I do on my devices, and so do random members of the community. I have absolutely no privacy. And the landlord has also rigged these two people's homes downstairs so that they can tamper with the air in my home through their range hoods. Everything that's meant to go out through the roof, through range hoods over the stove, would normally go out through the roof. It's not. It's all being diverted straight into my unit. So this morning, I just want to let you know too, there's also an implant that's been implanted in my body that monitors my vital signs, that the justice system and the health system have teamed up to do that. And this is so that when people are putting me through abuse, they're also able to monitor my pulse rate as well, my heart rate, just to see how much I'm panicking and if it looks like I'm going to have a heart attack or anything like that, because this is what they've been trying to cause. The justice system don't want me around anymore, and now there's just been so many people that have been involved in this abuse that have just done so much over the past 19 months that they are panicking themselves because they know what they've done. And, as I said, I'm not supposed to be here now. I'm still here and I don't plan on going anywhere. And yeah, this is they've got this dilemma now. They don't know what to do. So these two people that live downstairs from me, they have become so used to being able to stalk and harass me every day in my home that they are absolutely addicted to doing that. And these two people are mentally disturbed people. You've only got to go back on my channel and look at what they've put me through over the past 19 months to see that these people are mentally disturbed and that they are absolutely addicted to putting me through abuse and suffering. They're both sadists, they're both cruel, and they enjoy every minute of what they're doing. And St George Community Housing, I want to address you on this video right now because I know that you're watching these videos. You do not go and, pay neighbours to try and abuse somebody to death in their home and rig their homes and give them all the tools they need to be able to do it without keeping an eye on the situation. So I know you're watching me. You've got someone watching me in my home on these cameras 24 hours a day. You know you're caught. And I would just like to talk about what just happened to me this morning. First of all, I woke up hadn't even moved in my bed yet, and this creep downstairs who is also a pervert. He's a known pervert in the area. He's a peeping Tom. And St George Community Housing have given him the access to be able to view me in my home and put me through abuse whenever he likes. And before I even moved this morning from my sleep, this monitor that's in my body showed him that I was waking up. So he started breathing cigarette smoke through into my house, and it just engulfs my whole house when he does this. And it sends me into a panic attack because it would do that to anyone, This person has control of my air, and he can also, he's got control of my heartbeat because he's watching my heartbeat as he carries out abuse. So every time he does that, it's attempted murder. All day, it's attempted murder. And he's addicted to this. He's addicted to having that power over me. And so is the woman downstairs. There's him and a woman that does these things. And not only can he watch me in my home, and this camera's been in my bedroom for a long time and I didn't know it was there. So he's been able to watch me in my home. And when I walked out the door this morning, he's there woof whistling at me at the gate as I walked out the gate. Now, St George Community Housing, I don't know if you can, put yourself in my position for just a minute and just think how that feels. How that feels to have a disgusting pervert who's good for nothing but abusing people and stalking them all day, because that's all he does, 24 hours a day. This thing lurks over me as I sleep. He must have thought all his Christmases had come at once when you gave him the power to be able to do this. Not only can he watch me in my home and watch everything I do and, create abuse based on what I'm doing in my home, like waking up out my sleep. When I walk out the gate, he's also, treating me in that, in a very demeaning and humiliating way, where he's actually wolf whistling at me as I walked out the gate. This person has access to viewing me in my home, and then he's wolf whistling at me as I walk out the gate. So this person thinks that they're so smug. This creep is so friggin' smug. And I've had enough of this St George Community Housing. I've had enough of this because I deserve respect. I don't deserve to be treated like this. These cameras in my home are not only allowing that. When I went out today, I was degraded and humiliated everywhere I went by people who have been viewing into my home illegally and getting ideas to carry out abuse. The health system have teamed up with the justice system and my landlord to put me through this, and they have implanted this monitor in my body somewhere, and They did that when I went and had a procedure done last year. And, I didn't know it was there. But then I started to realise it was because of the way these people know when I'm waking up from my sleep. There's no way that they could know that because that's how they gave themselves away there. Before I even open my eyes or move, there are people beginning to carry out abuse of a morning. And that's because they know they're monitoring me. They can see my vital signs changing, going from sleeping to waking up. And yeah, today when I went out, I was put through humiliating and degrading abuse from the second I walked out my door and out the front gate by this disgusting creep who you have given the power to be able to control the air in my home that I'm trying to breathe and watch me on an illegal camera and then abuse me, put me through this disgusting, degrading abuse. St. George Community Housing, I deserve to be treated with equality and respect, and you will be held accountable for what you have done here. You will. And so will these two people downstairs. They're both addicted. They're both mentally disturbed. They both stalk me like demons 24 hours a day, and you better do something about these people. You better get out here and fix these range hoods so that they can't tamper with my air. These are dangerous stalkers. You better get out here and remove these cameras from my home where I pay rent and I'm a good tenant and I don't deserve any of this. When I go out, there's people out there that have taken notes of things that I've done in my home. And then they're mocking me. They're carrying out abuse based on what I'm doing in my home. And, this is supposed to make me look like I'm delusional. That's what it's meant to do. It's supposed to make me feel like, if I say anything about it, that people will think I'm delusional. But this has been going on for 19 months. These people stalk me every time I go to the shopping centre. They come from every single direction. And I also want to say that St. George Community Housing is guilty of environmental crimes and crimes against humanity because the enormous amount of traffic that is stalking past my house every day, and the justice system is too, because when I go out, I'm followed everywhere I go by so much traffic. So much unnecessary traffic on the road is following me to carry out psychological abuse. They come from everywhere as well. So yeah, the justice system and St. George Community Housing are responsible for environmental crimes because of this camera in my home, and then there's also a tracker in my car that these stalkers track me on. So I'm stalked every minute of the day. I don't have an ounce of privacy at all. People can see into my bedroom. People know everything I buy, everything I do online, every move I make, everywhere I go, and I want my human rights back. I want my human rights back. I've done nothing wrong to deserve any of this. This is happening to me because of a justice system cover-up. So yes, I was stalked again today at the shopping centre and put through degrading and humiliating abuse that I don't deserve. And most of the stalkers that are being sent towards me now are people that are attached to people that were involved in the 5 weeks that I spent in the Campbelltown Public Hospital, where they held me against my will and put me through severe psychological abuse to try and cause me a mental health breakdown or a health episode. A lot of them people are sending stalkers out after me because they know that they're about to get caught too. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to hurry up and take my life in some way from me, or at least cause me a health episode to the point where I'm unable to take care of myself, like a stroke or a heart attack or a mental health breakdown. So they want control of my life because they don't want the whole truth getting out. But I mean, it's these people that are delusional because the truth is already out. People know what's going on here. And these people are just stalling for time every day. My family are also involved in this. I want to make that very clear. They're involved in this. They've stolen an inheritance from me, and they've also taken money from the justice system to be a part of this abuse. And I don't deserve any of it. I'm an innocent person. It's happening because they're covering up for corrupt cops and abusive people in the community, and doctors as well. Corrupt doctors, corrupt nurses in the health system that have already done too much, that don't want to be held accountable. And because there's so many of them and one of me, they're trying to abuse me to death by keeping a monitor on every single thing I do. So right now, I'm being held hostage. I'm being held hostage by the justice system, and St George Community Housing and the justice system they're committing crimes against humanity because of the way that my life's so restricted, and I haven't got the freedom to live a happy and free life like everyone else, and I don't deserve this. And they're just trying to force the end of my life. That's what they're trying to do every day. They're trying to force the end of my life. Not only that, the health system have also given out personal information about my health records to the community and different organisations out there who put me through very cruel psychological abuse when I go out in regard to my health conditions that different health conditions that I've had throughout my life. The justice system, they investigated my life dating right back to my childhood. They got every single detail that they could of me, my privacy, and it's just been violated to the absolute extreme. And there's people out there that know more about my health conditions than I do. And the health system has actually held back vital information about me and my health conditions from me in the hope that every day they can drag this on and on, that one of those health conditions will destroy my life somehow, by either making me so sick that I can't take care of myself, or just taking my life. They're trying to stall, and they've held back information that I should know about very serious health conditions. And so they've held back that information, but also what they do when I go out, they have people mock those health conditions. Like, for instance, they'll have people insinuate that I have Parkinson's disease, and that I'm going to end up in a wheelchair soon, and I'm going to be crippled, and they carry out all this psychological abuse. It's not just in those ways either. There's other things they do. There's other things they do as well, based on health conditions that I do know that I have. That information's been given out to these organisations that are involved in this, that have been a part of this abuse, and there are a lot of different organisations involved in this, a lot of very large organisations and small, and when people find out about who those organisations are, they are going to be absolutely shocked. And yeah, that's what they do. They carry out psychological abuse around my health conditions, and it's like they're like, look, we know what you have, and we know that you're going to end up like this if you don't get that operation that you need real soon, but we're still not going to tell you what it is. So that's the kind of psychological abuse, how cruel it is, that I'm being put through. And they also send a lot of lookalikes towards me that look like abusers, who I've been abused from, in my past. They do that as well. And they also carry out a lot of abuse based on the fact that my grandchildren aren't in my life. It's very cruel, the abuse that they put me through, and I want it to stop. I want these cameras out of my home, and I want to be treated with equality. This is happening to me just because I am a single woman. There's absolutely no other reason why. this is happening to me. If I wasn't a single woman on my own, there is no way in the world that the justice system would be doing this to me. No way. There's no way that this creep downstairs would be game enough to abuse me if I had a partner. I don't even have a friend because I've been purposely isolated by my community. I've been purposely isolated by my community and my family who put me through this in the first place. That was part of their deal with the justice system, was to purposely isolate me and completely abandon me. And that's what they did. And I'll attach some videos to the end of this one where you can go back and watch everything. They'll explain everything that has gone on here in Campbelltown, New South Wales, as a part of this abuse that I've been put through to try and take my life. The community here that's involved have tried to take my life as a group. They've tried to bully me to death. And St George Community Housing, they've done a lot. They have, and they need to get these cameras out of my home, and so that this creep can stop abusing me and her downstairs, because it's all they do. It's absolutely, it's their life. These are people whose lives must be so miserable that all they have to do is stalk and abuse an innocent person all day long, and that's all they do. They watch every single move I make, and it just makes me sick. It does. It makes me sick to know that these people live within meters of me and they have control of my air in my home. So St George Community Housing, you better do something about these people. You better tell this creep to stop abusing me and stop treating me in these demeaning ways, because I'm not putting up with it. I'm not. I deserve respect. There might be other women around here that put up with it, that are involved in this abuse that's been carried out on me. You know, they don't mind being treated in those ways off a man, but not me. I'm not putting up with it. I have more self-respect than that. Thank you. And, you know, as if it's not enough that this creep already has the power to look into my home. And he's a pervert. He's a known pervert. And it's all he does. I've told people before on these videos, he doesn't leave his house. He hasn't left his house in 19 months. What does that tell you? And I'm sure when the detectives investigate him, they're going to see that. They're going to see it. They're going to see the patterns they are of these people. So if you've listened to this video right through, thank you so much. I appreciate it. If you can help me in any way here legally to get justice, please reach out to me on the email that will be attached to this video. If you can help me by sharing one of my videos, that would really help. It would help if you could share one that's attached to this video, because I'll make sure that I attach ones that, you know, have the whole, the big picture of what's going on here, because you really have to see the big picture of what's going on here to actually believe it and you know, get a good idea of why this has all happened. Because they've gone to these extremes because they wanted to make me look delusional. That's the whole point of these people that have been able to control my air. So they could send foul smells through and, you know, make me think that I was going crazy and things like that. To make, if I complain about the stalkers when I go out, you know, they'll make me think, they want people to think that I'm delusional for saying that. But no, this has been happening to me for 19 months now. And it's every time I go to the shopping centre, I'm provoked. I'm provoked in every direction by these people. They stalk me, they follow me, and they have abuse ready to carry out based on either information that the justice system have researched on me about my health or about my life, or information that they have collected from viewing illegally into my home and looking at my devices. So yeah, I really need help. I just can't reach out to any lawyer because I tried that in the past, and the justice system made sure that every lawyer that I reach out to was either involved, bribed, or lied to about me in some way so that they wouldn't help me. So this is why I have to rely on this channel for my protection. That's why I created this channel, to save my life. So, yeah, if there's anyone out there that can help me legally, if you know anyone that can, please let me know, because I really need help here. The justice system are getting away with murder here, and people need to know what they're doing to innocent people. And this landlord, St George Community Housing, they've tried to take my life. They've tried to have me abused to death. So thank you for listening, and I will talk to you on the next one. Enjoy the rest of your day.